So I've been seeing a lot over the internet, and actually people that I know in real life and kind of myself. What I'm saying is a lot of people, a lot of people are probably thinking this. I've been seeing people selling their manga collections. And, for right off top, hey, I don't know any people that I've seen on the internet, at least for like my buddies and me and stuff that kind of collect manga. Sometimes it's just expensive, and you kind of got to obfuscate that price with letting go of some series that maybe you don't hold dear, right? I actually just did a whole video about it. So obviously I don't know people's predicaments, and I don't mean this to be like, I'm not saying anything. It's a very expensive hobby, and sometimes you just fall out of love with it. But it still got me thinking. And if you don't know, right, it's your first video of mine that you're seeing, I own a lot of manga. A ton of manga. Too much for a normal human being. I get it. And while I love manga, don't get me wrong, I have absolutely thought about offloading a chunk of my collection. It has crossed my mind multiple times. One, because manga is expensive, and it's only getting more expensive. I'm sure you've seen people do videos about it. I did one myself. One of the biggest publishers, Viz, raised their prices. Even if they raise their prices just $2 to $3, which actually for their hardcovers of JoJo and stuff, it's $5. But let's say $2 to $3. If you buy 100 of those titles, it's still $200 extra. And to be honest, you really got to start thinking about it. Sometimes life happens. Things happen where either A, you need money, or B, if you're moving. I've looked around here. Moving all this stuff would be a hot bummer. Man, I'd be tired. Man, those boxes would be heavy. Listen, books are heavy. You get a bunch of books together, update, they're very heavy. And if you're moving across the country or to a different country even, you really do start thinking about it. Deluxe editions come out of stuff. Maybe you want to get rid of singles. And is it honestly a bad idea? And I know I've talked about this in a video for sure, so I'm not going to ramble more about it, but sometimes you just fall out of love with a hobby. That's okay. But the main point of this video is I've also read some stuff about, manga tubers or people that do YouTube content based around manga, right? And is this kind of like the end of that? Are people because I would say, for me, at least in my peripheral, vision, 2020, right? I really think the manga YouTube scene kind of boomed and people got very popular with it. That's coming up on 4 years ago. It's really been 3.5, but let's just round up to 4, I know I have personally seen channels that are very active still, not active as much, or completely disappeared. It has nothing to do with, maybe they still read manga, maybe they still enjoy manga, but maybe they have other things going on. And do I really think if you see people that are big in this space, right, is this actually are we just going to keep seeing people fall off or sell their collections off and just, is it going to implode in and on itself? No way, man. I do think it made me think of a bigger thing, right? And I think there's a bunch of content on YouTube, but I think this can apply to the manga scene on YouTube, and that's kind of why I wanted to make a video about it. And let's talk in the comments if you think differently, because that's the whole point, is having a conversation. But I think it can implode on itself, or people can get burnt out if you base your content strictly on buying. And I think this is one of the scenes on YouTube that sometimes people think that it's just about how big can the number be in a video. I think a lot of people are diversifying and doing really cool stuff, whether it be analysis videos, whether it be live streaming stuff, whether it be news specific stuff. Like I said, it's not the only thing, but I think especially when I got introduced to this content on YouTube, which was 2020, 2021, I think there was that thing of is the only type of content going to be, 50 plus volumes this month, 50 plus volumes a month again, 100 volumes this month, and I think without the numbers being, whether it be you're making it back on like the ad revenue side or sponsorships or this, that, and the third, it can't be sustainable because mostly, probably, not to jump to conclusions, but a lot of us probably have, responsibilities, bills, a life to live. And especially with, the manga prices going up, I don't think it's sustainable. I think it's still, fun to see what people are picking up or what people think about a series. But I believe that the days of 100+ manga haul videos are a thing of the past, and that's a good thing. Because I think a lot of content now that I personally enjoy in this space is personality based. Whether they bring, insight into something, whether they bring charisma in the videos that they make, or whatever it may be. Don't get me wrong, if you found this video or you make videos and you're like, yeah, but the only thing that gets a lot of views is manga haul stuff. And there might just be people on YouTube, and that's fine because that's how they choose to spend their time. And that's all they want. But that goes back to the fact of, if you do make content, right, and you somehow stumble across this video, you need to make content that you want to make. And I think an audience would follow. I hope, at least. Also, don't take advice from me, because there are people with way higher numbers, right? If you're looking at my number and you're like, hey, Liz, what does this guy know? You're right. I don't know much. That's fair. But I'm just giving you my opinions. And my opinion is that the manga YouTube space is evolving. And I hope to see, to be honest with you, and I hope to do it too. I'm just going to say that. New and interesting content. And while it might not do the best numbers right off the bat, I think if you're making stuff that you're proud of, it's worth it. Because then also making content's easier. It doesn't feel like a slog. It doesn't feel like, boy, my heart's not in it. Boy, I hate this. It's going to come off in the video. But if you're enjoying it, that's also going to come off in the video. But again, that's just my opinion. So I absolutely could be wrong. And maybe if I didn't listen to my own opinions, I could be at 10 times as subscribed. You're right. I don't need to be listening to my opinions. My opinions are wrong. I'm just going to make manga haul video. I'm on my way right now. We're about to drop $200 on this manga. Boy, the views. I am also recording this very late at night, so this is probably a mistake. I probably won't post this. I don't know, man. I've been reading a lot about that, of people like what feels like fire selling their manga collection. And one, you don't know what's going on in their personal life. It could be anything. And two, it's okay. It's fine. It's not like the end of people enjoying manga or enjoying this type of content, because one or two or three, or it's surprisingly a lot that I saw. I'm not gonna lie. There was a few days, boy, it was back to back to back, huh? It was weird. It was odd. I was like, oh no, am I next? But I think that's growth, and I think that people falling out of stuff. And for me, I am really excited to see where manga content on YouTube ends up going. Because again, I think there are a lot of people out there really on the cusp of breaking through to a different level. And a lot of really great creators and stuff that I'm looking at, and I'm just like, they're doing stuff that's right now, like, maybe it's a little slow and stuff like that, but I see it. I see that next level of what type of content Manga YouTube can do, and that is so exciting. And I absolutely think it's okay, if not a good thing, that a lot of content is moving away from 100+ volume hauls. Because while, yes, it is exciting to kind of see people's thoughts, because that's another thing. Oh, God, I'm going to ramble, aren't I? That's another thing, right? When you're talking about large hauls, I think the appeal of large hauls is, one, it's a lot, big number. And two, if you enjoy this person's view or opinions on a subject, manga, let's use, you can see their opinion about a lot of different series in rapid succession, especially if they have a 100+ manga haul. So I get it. I understand it. But I just think that the content is evolving in a good direction. Because you are 100% right. If you are one of the ones that commented on it or have been thinking about it, it is going to implode on itself if the content just revolves around how much money I can spend. And that's kind of advice that I took to myself, because if you've been hanging around this channel, you kind of know that I try to do different stuff. And that's because I don't want to get burnt out. And just because, you know, certain videos have higher retention or higher click-through rate or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I enjoy doing personal videos or conversational videos like this so much more. And that's kind of, this is going to sound so weird, because I don't, right? Like, I'm so small, like, I'm so tiny. But if I was going to want people, that's what I'm going to call it, not an audience, because it's just me and a camera. There is no audience members here. You're kind of like an audience member. Hello, hi. It's like I'm putting on a one-man show. It's not very exciting, you know. The editing is probably very minimal in this video. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, why don't you subscribe to the channel? Hang out for a little bit. Perfect plug. It was a perfect plug. You didn't see it coming. But no, it's advice that I kind of gave myself of, I am not going to have my content based around one thing. Whether it be, oh my God, this perfect shirt, One Piece, or manga hauls or something like that. While I enjoy all that stuff, I super enjoy One Piece, and I will definitely make more videos about One Piece. But if you start holding yourself down when you're in the beginning stages of growing or doing anything, man, I think that hinders a lot. And I could be wrong, right? Like, you could grow super, super fast, and then your huge subscriber number, you can be like, look at this idiot that's rambling. You're right, maybe I am, but I don't know. I can just say from my personal experience, making stuff that's interesting to me is way more important than a video with a ton of views. For better or for worse, right? I don't know. I really don't know what this video turned into. I apologize. If you've made it to the end of the video, my God, hey, I might love you. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy if you made it to the end of this one, because this one, I don't even know if I posted. But hopefully you got something out of it. And in all reality, Manga YouTube is not going anywhere. And I think it's just going to grow in such an interesting direction. But yes, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hearing me ramble. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And as always, I hope if you're having a bad day, it gets better. If you're having a good day, I hope it becomes fantastic. I'll see you next time.